Welcome back. It's been another fantastic fucking hot week in the UK.
Most
strangest summer holidays we've had this year. Yeah, we hit the highest temperature, was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday, yeah. It was
35 degrees.
I felt it.
Yeah, global warming, whatever. Anyway, so moving on. So we're going to finish it off with our last episode. We had RAAC concrete. So for all you people that don't know about the RAAC concrete in the UK.
The RAAC concrete scandal.
That's it, the scandal where someone got some good money for making
Shitty
concrete. It turns out that now it's not only in the schools, it is actually in quite a wide public area.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's so literally 10 hours ago, Oxford Housing have discovered that they may have RAAC concrete. We've got 9 Scottish universities closed buildings over RAAC concrete. Been to believe that it's now in Heathrow and Gatwick airports. So RAAC concrete, what is it? It's basically a cheaper, short-based concrete material used for short term, which would then be replaced.
Yeah, as far as we can tell from what I've looked into it, it seems as if it's not exactly like you pour it in within a week, it's going to start crumbling. Like, it's not that bad. But it's not, as far as we can tell, designed for, 30, 40, 50 years of use.
That's it, exactly. So its life expectancy was a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's obviously been put into buildings that aren't being planned on being ripped down anytime soon.
So for you boffs out there, you're going to be like, I haven't mentioned what it means. It's basically reinforced, autoclaved, aerated concrete. So basically it's just a bubbled concrete, which when I did groundworks, you now learn to poke and prod concrete when you set it. So you want those air bubbles out. And there's no big composite materials in there that bind it together. So like with our concrete, like driveways, we would use like a base. Yeah. Like what do they call it? They call it a hogging sort of material, like big stones, 20 mil, 30 mil stones mixed together, pea shingle and concrete. And that help bind it together. And then for like your slabs and everything like that, you may use a sharp sand or a normal concrete with finer materials. But everything would then hold together. So everything now that we do, like roads to buildings, everything's reinforced. And we've got big companies out there like Cemex, Tarmac. They are the biggest companies out there that are doing reinforced concrete on a lot of big buildings. They are. And I think there's been a major flop here, hasn't there, with the expectancies of buildings.
Definitely seems like. I think one of the biggest issues is that, unlike regular concrete, you can't bear as much weight on it. No. It can't take as much load per capacity. For example, say you had like a cube of it, regular concrete that's not aerated can take a lot more pressure and like downward force than the aerated stuff can before it starts to fall apart, basically.
And that's the problem, isn't it? Like schools were always added on extras, another story. So like the original building that was probably built in that time frame was like, right, we're now gonna, need a higher ceiling, so we're gonna build a higher ceiling with probably a more robust material instead of having like what they'd use, like asbestos, which was thin.
The good old asbestos scandal. Do you remember that?
This is it. This is another thing. I mean, this isn't harmful to health, but this is harmful to health in a way of being squashed.
Yes, it's not in the same way asbestos is going to give you cancer from breathing in. It's going to be more of an insta-kill because the roof's going to collapse.
It's just going to collapse. I mean, it's just amazing how it's just gone so long with these surveys. I mean, they've obviously had the reports brought in 1994. And a lot of these places have just been basically ignoring it. And the funny thing is that Rishi Sunak was the guy that was head of the school education. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he's the guy that was signing all of this off. So all of these interviews, all of these, we need to rebuild schools, we need more finances put in the schools to do the rebuild, has just completely been brushed under the carpet and forgotten about. So, who is now our PM, who is showing concerns, I think it's a bit too late.
Yeah, it's just a tad. I mean, obviously, probably wasn't to know back then that it might not have been safe. Although
like 2 years ago.
He might have. But
he'd be made aware though, wouldn't he? There'd be information.
I think the thing is, it's always been known that RAAC concrete isn't as structurally strong as regular concrete. Like
No.
that's just. I mean, you could guess that just from hearing what it's called. Like it's aerated.
Yeah.
It's basically like an aero chocolate bar. Like there's less mass to it. So of course it is.
I like that.
It's the chocolate equivalent. Nice.
It is. So yeah, the aero chocolate concrete.
The aero
is
concrete.
striking again. It is really, really hitting the UK.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing it in bridges and everything as well.
Oh, that's not going to be good, is
You know,
it?
so they've been doing a lot of bridge work on the M3, and it makes me wonder if they've picked it up on there as well. I'm not too sure.
Does make you wonder.
I mean,
at the moment, it doesn't seem like we've had any reports of this stuff actually causing any damage or any like serious problems. Like based on purely the concrete itself. Obviously, some structural issues are, done by anything else. But there's not been any real reports, as far as we can tell, that it's just the RAAC concrete's fault. But it sounds like it's a big enough concern that it's being looked into. So I guess we'll see what comes of that.
I mean, it's obvious. Seeing this it's obviously in hospitals in Wales.
Yeah.
Hospitals have got it. Obviously, got Crumbling Concrete Fizz as the host of new hospitals. So full list of dozens of NHS buildings with unsafe concrete. I mean, let's just have a look and see if we can get that list out there. So, list of NHS hospitals made nearly exclusively of RAAC. You've got the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Kings Lynn. Oh my God, there's loads.
There's a lot.
Oh my God, there's loads.
The list is thick.
Oh my.
It does make you wonder as well with these buildings because
West Sussex Hospital.
It's not as if they
Hospital.
can just knock these buildings down and rebuild them.
Hitchinbrook Hospital. No, you've got to leave these. These are hospitals.
That's
right?
what I
You've got to
mean.
leave these. We're so short supply of hospitals as it is.
So what are they going to do in these situations with things like hospitals? They can't just close them down or knock them down and rebuild them.
Have you ever been to Bournemouth, and have you ever been to the shopping centre? And it's all RSJs and everything.
Yeah.
That's what that's going to be.
It literally will be, won't it? Just be support beams everywhere.
It'll be support beams everywhere. So
yeah, that would make sense.
If you come into the UK and you start seeing support beams everywhere,
probably RAAC concrete involved.
It's probably RAAC concrete. It won't be building. Yeah, Frimley Park Hospital, James Paget Hospital. We've got.
There are a lot.
There's loads. We've got other NHS hospitals and buildings affected. Bromfield Hospital, Building 60, Blackpool Victoria Hospital, Block 44 and Block 8, Southampton General Hospital, Laboratory and Pathology Block.
That's our local...
Bloody hell, I've just been there a couple of weeks ago.
That's our local hospital, that is.
Bassett Law and District General Hospital, mental illness buildings and theatres, 1 to 4.
Basically everywhere.
Wow.
A lot of hospitals this has affected. Now, a lot of these places aren't exclusively all RAAC concrete. They're only about...
It's if they've been built
it seems
in that
like
generation.
There's only 5 or 6 that are exclusively RAAC concrete, but a lot of these have had add-ons over the years, which are indeed RAAC concrete, so I guess we'll see what happens there.
It's obviously something to stay on top of because this is something that's been a health concern, buildings concern, for a very long time.
Yeah.
And... this is something that can't be going unignored. These are buildings that hundreds of people going in and out daily.
Yeah.
Possibly thousands.
So I guess we'll see what comes of this. I mean, if there are any updates, obviously we'll try and...
we're definitely going to stay on top of this.
We'll do another segment.
I love doing a segment on government's failures.
Of course. So we will definitely keep everybody updated on that.
The one thing that you haven't really been keeping yourself updated on this week.
I don't know anything about this. Well, I know a little bit since we've talked earlier, but other than that...
The Wandsworth prison escapee, Daniel Khalif.
Yeah, we got a real-life prison break going on.
We had a prison break situation going on, that's right. So former British soldier, Daniel Khalif, had escaped from Wandsworth prison. Escaped 5 days ago now. And he managed to get underneath of a buy food delivery vehicle, strapped.
So it's just like some real Wentworth Miller stuff.
So I'm telling you now, this guy shouldn't have actually been in Wandsworth, which is a Category B prison. He should have been in a Category A maximum. And a lot of people were complaining and umming that he should have been in a military prison for one.
How long was he out for? How long did he stay out for before they found him?
4 days. He was picked up yesterday in Chiswick at 11 a.m, which caused absolute chaos because I was there. But well done to the Metropolitan Police. You've actually done something really good this time by capturing a prisoner.
It's quite a long time, 4 days, isn't it?
4 days is a long time to be on the run.
He clearly didn't have much of a plan once he got out, I assume.
No, so this is the thing, innit? They don't know if it was a shared operation or, this was solely done by him. He didn't have any food, I don't imagine, money or anything like that. So he must have just been running around he was caught on a push bike.
I imagine he tried to go to friends and stuff.
Yes.
You'd have thought anyway.
And there was a £20,000 reward if he was found.
Was there?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I wonder if the police get that. They'd be like, no, you're doing your job.
No bonus for you.
Reverse a little bit of a rewind on the story of him. You don't actually know what he was in for.
No, I don't.
So it was apparently under rumours at this moment in time. We don't actually know. He is being held for suspect charges of terrorist and sharing secret information to very naughty people.
He's a traitor, is he?
So he's a traitor. Yes, he is a traitor to, at the time, would have been Queen and now King. So the King of England. He was allegedly making bombs as well on base. So
that sounds normal.
There's a lot. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he wasn't EOD. It did nothing screamed out here that this was normal.
No.
So yes, so he managed to get himself into the kitchen section of the prison, which he's not supposed to have been working in at all.
So he wasn't working that shift at all.
So he was working in the kitchen. He's not supposed to work in the kitchen. That is literally, as far as I'm aware, I've been told, trusted prisoners.
Oh, so he was working in the kitchen.
He was working in the kitchen. He shouldn't have been working in there. Which means he has access to things that come in and out. He has access to all the food.
Miss him once he was gone?
Yeah, so what they do is they do like a roll call, apparently. So when the delivery comes, you all come out of the kitchen, apparently, and then the food gets delivered and you go in. Apparently he was missing, and it took them a few hours before they raised the alarm.
So did they just not notice he was gone?
No, because apparently this is where it's getting all real coming out in the water now with all of this. So the prison staff have been overrun for ages. Since 2021, Her Majesty's prisons, or now His Majesty prisons, have lost 4,000 employees. Have quit, resigned, left, been made redundant. So they are struggling.
Damn.
And apparently the prison staff are not able to keep an eye on majority of the prisoners because they have this on a regular basis. Yeah. People going missing, but they normally find them somewhere else in the prison.
Just don't have the manpower.
Don't have the manpower. That's it. So, and it turns out they weren't doing their checks correctly on the lorry. They didn't do the mirrors underneath the vehicle.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So there's a lot of things that have come out into this
sort of stuff that you should do, but you don't, and 99% of the time it's fine.
It's fine.
But then this one time they didn't do it.
And this one time it's happened, and obviously it's been escalated. The head of police of the Metropolitan was like, don't think I was meant to come up. Command prompt.
Someone hacked into the system then.
Virus and threat protection. It's Windows. Just get it. They're saying that he shouldn't have even been in that prison. He should have been in a more high security. So he made his escape. They reckon he made his way into Richmond Park. They had that proper closed off.
It doesn't sound like it was actually that hard to escape.
No, it sounds very easy.
Obviously, in Prison Break, he plans this thing out for like months, and he tattoos the route all over his body, and he goes all in. But this guy sounds like he was like, "Oh, there's a van there, jump on it."
This is just another thing with the UK.
It just sounds like a failing of the people in charge. It's
just another thing added to the UK's list of problems at the moment.
Yes.
We've got the NHS on brink of collapse. No funding, no work staff. Work staff are on strike, being replaced by penguins.
And to be fair,
robot penguins, I shall say.
The NHS has been on the edge of collapse for about 20 years, hasn't it?
We've now got His Majesty's prisons. They are now
falling apart.
Having this. We've got the government. We're in a living crisis of food. We've got a war on in the east, in the Middle East, Far East of Europe, that's having massive effects upon us because of our energy crisis. This is just another thing that's just adding to that list.
Do you think with this escape, do you think it's going to prompt other prisoners to try their luck?
I imagine it will, because
I mean, I imagine in that prison specifically, they're probably going to be on lockdown for a while.
you want to hear the support that people were giving this man.
But however, like other prisons around the country, do you think it's going to give them a bit of a boost of
Yeah,
confidence
it may
to try
do.
and
Yeah, it
make a
may
run
do.
for it?
You know, it may show now that there's a hole in the system,
Yeah.
and it's feasible. These maximum places, I imagine, they're going to be pretty shit.
Do you reckon we're going to start seeing prison escapes every other day, every other week?
We could possibly, yeah. I mean, the manhunt went on that long. They must have been calling police in from shift after shift.
So there's a lot of overtime.
Like, no overtime ban. There must be no overtime ban. There must have been no rest ban, everything like that.
Yeah.
You must have been, yeah. So he was apprehended on a push bike at 11 a.m. in Chiswick, and it was murder. There was police out everywhere. There was the helicopter up and about. There was the media out on the round. Made me laugh because I did think this is like some proper stuff you hear in movies and see in the States,
Hollywood style.
You know, and there was a lot of support for him, which I found very surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that actually.
Loads of people were saying fair play to him.
Do you reckon it was just a bit of a go on, son, give it a go?
I think it was, yeah. And because he's in there for charges of suspicion, and he's actually still to be charged because he's in custody, as far as I'm aware. He's still awaiting hearing.
Do we know how long he'd been in prison before he tried to escape?
Not too sure. I'm not too sure, actually.
I say he tried to escape, but I guess he did escape.
What's his name? Daniel Khalif.
Yeah, I'm very curious how long he was in there before he tried to, before he did a runner. It doesn't say that much.
No, don't.
How long he was actually in there for? Because, like you say, he's a suspected terrorist. So it doesn't seem like he's actually been charged with anything. He's just being held, which is weird.
So he was trained as a soldier in 2018 for the British Army before he went to jail. The Royal Corps of Signals as a computer network engineer. But in January, his life took a turn that would change everything, as he highly trained soldier was charged on 3 counts. So this is it. So this was followed by a second charge, wherein the former soldier was accused of sending personal information from Ministry of Defence information systems about members of the armed forces whilst he was serving in August 2021. The information he leaked was of kind likely to be useful to a person committing preparing of an act of terrorism. Finally, he was accused of breaching the Official Secrets Act over a 3-year period between May 2019 to 2022. So he actually wasn't really in there that long.
No.
I mean,
he's quite young as well.
Yeah, he just fucking looks like Gotham Minge. Yeah, so there you go. So that was what he was arrested for. And then obviously he was 6 weeks trial in November the 13th. And then he was arrested in January 2022 on suspicion of the separate offences investigation by Scotland Yard Counter-Terrorist Command. So the man is obviously been up to some serious things.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it sound like he... I mean, you don't generally try to escape prison if you think you're innocent, right?
This is the thing. If you're innocent...
surely
you would use the system as much as possible to get out.
Surely,
but to escape, where was he going?
I don't know. You'd think surely if you're innocent, the safe play is to wait until you know you're not coming out. Because as far as we can tell, he's not actually properly been sent down necessarily. He's in there on suspected terror charges.
That's it.
So,
I'd just like to correct myself. It was Bid Food, not Buy Food. Bid Food is the company that used to deliver.
So yeah, like
so there's the lorry.
You can kind of assume some sort of guilt if he's trying to escape, because he probably knew he was going to be in there a while.
Where was he going to? I mean, why didn't he go to the Iranian embassy?
He could have, to be fair. Maybe he was trying to find it.
Well, he's thick as shit. He can find around Chiswick. You got to go into like Westminster, where they all are. You know, this is the funny thing, isn't it? You know, what was he doing? What was the intent? You know, and like you say, if you're really innocent, would you go on the run? because he's now
No.
been charged with escape. Now he'll now be charged with that.
Yeah, of course he will.
He'll be charged of evading the
And
law.
to be fair, I mean, people don't escape prison all that often, so I assume he's probably going to be used as an example.
It'd be majorly used as an example now. There'll probably be a law now put in place and all this at these places. I mean, these security companies get paid millions, hundreds of millions of pounds of contracts a year. You know, and to be told that apparently on a regular basis, even had electricians that go into Wandsworth prison and they were saying, "Oh, I've never had my van checked." Coming on the radio saying that, never had their vans checked, never had the mirrors put under the vehicle,
just driving in.
You know, I know you're not going to be able to strap yourself to a van underneath of the van because they're quite low riding, but people will still be able to do it.
But still, someone can hide in the back or...
That's it, you know, on the roof.
Make a little compartment for someone.
Literally on the roof, you know. It's just silly things like that. I mean, this is it, you know, and it's very strange how he got not that far out of London and people had their suspicions that he was already in France.
How far is the prison from where he's actually found?
So Chiswick is West London and Wandsworth Prison is Southwest London. Kind of like centre.
I mean, I say he didn't make it that far, but it's not like he could take a taxi or the tube.
No, this is what I'm saying. So he would have had no money, nothing like that. His face was plastered around on the internet. So everything is against him.
Yeah.
Everything
the
is
odds
against
are
him.
stacked against him.
And, you know, the police were saying, you know, be very, very, very vigilant. You know, even us as gas engineers, we were still, you know, we'd still have a look. So I'm going to show you now on the map, if you wanted to put this in.
Yeah.
So Chiswick is here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wandsworth. It's here somewhere.
It's not that far.
It's in between. There it is, Wandsworth.
Right, so it's not actually that far.
No, so if we just do a quick...
So does it sound... It looks like he was purposely staying in the area for some reason.
I got a funny feeling, like you say, staying in the area. He was hoping to be picked up.
I think he probably was being picked up by someone.
So...
Because I don't think most people try to escape prison if, one, they think they're innocent, and two, they've got nowhere to go or no one on the outside to help them. So...
Just trying to remember how you do the measuring tool.
Makes you think someone's probably out there trying to help
Yeah,
him.
someone was probably definitely looking around for him. You know, you don't... Let's see how you do it. I can't remember how you do the measuring tool.
I think if you hold down where you want to go, like, puts a little pin on there, doesn't it? And if you click the directions thing, that little blue one, and then you can then go somewhere else and hold it down. I'll do that.
Let's just do that. So he made...
So you walked about an hour and 14 minutes. 40 minutes? Was it 40 minutes?
He covered about, so he covered about an hour and 45 minutes in 4 days. Now, being on the run, I'd imagine it's very hard to do. Because these are very popular areas.
It's not a leisurely stroll, is it?
These are busy areas. Wandsworth is ridiculously busy. Then you've got going across into Putney. Putney is ridiculously massive because obviously you've got the University of Roehampton there, you know, just on the edge, and it is a really massive nightlife.
That being said, though, you think he'd be able to make that journey in at least a day, right?
Easily.
Even on the road.
Easily. And then going across Hammersmith Bridge here, where it's absolutely dead because no one's... Chiswick Bridge, because no one's using it because it's closed off to the public.
I suppose the issue is, something we've got to remember as well, is London is the most heavily CCTV'd area
ridiculously
on the planet.
They were using every camera at their disposal.
I imagine he knows that.
You've got TFL.
As an IT specialist for the army, so...
You've got TFL. Now, a lot of people don't know much about TFL, but TFL has, like, the massive, like, camera networking system to keep an eye on their routes, the security of their routes. Even when we're digging on their routes, they are watching us with the cameras. You watch the camera turn on you and you can see it. You know, they really are on you. So, you know, these cameras would have been watching him. Then you've got the facial recognition in vehicles. Yeah. So they've got the police cars that have got that all. So they'd have been watching that. So this would have been like a major born identity search.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
You know, they'd have been scanning the subways, the tubes, overground, underground.
I've got this image of like Minority Report screen coming up.
That's it, basically, you know, like,
and they're like pulling the camera feeds in.
Enhance. And they're like, enhance.
He's like zooming in like that.
Zooming in, and he's like, I'm enhancing this footage. We can go, sir. We're using AI now to generate this face, you know. But wouldn't it taken a lot to have chucked on a burqa and pretended to have been a woman?
Yeah. I mean, you think he could have, I don't know, shaved his hair off or something?
Shaved his hair off.
That'd be like the first thing I'd do.
Did he grow facial hair whilst he was in there? Did he shave it?
Surely, if you were because it seems like this was a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, does seem like
if this
take
was
a chance. But then it could have been planned for months.
I feel like it was planned. He'd have grown a beard out, grown his hair out, got out, shaved it all off.
Shaved it all off, completely different.
Like if you shaved your hair off, I wouldn't recognise you.
No, that's it. I'd look like
do you know what I mean?
I'd look like that actor out of The Strain. One episode he had hair, then the next episode just shaved all his hair off. I was like, what the fuck? And he didn't do that in the TV series, But that's exactly what you just said. It's right. All these efforts you could have gone to disguise yourself.
I wouldn't recognise myself or shaving my hair off.
This is it.
Someone else.
Wear a burqa.
Yeah.
Wear a burqa. The police cannot stop and ask you to remove your burqa. Not at all. So, these things, even like a balaclava, a clothes shop, I'd have run into a clothes shop, stolen what I needed immediately, face covering, and gone. There's a lot of gangs and young youths now wearing balaclavas out and about in London. They don't get stopped or questioned.
I imagine once you've broken out of prison, I imagine it's pretty much all panic stations.
It's panic
as
stations.
The person who's broken out.
Your adrenaline's going to be pumping.
Yeah, just constantly.
Nerves. I mean, your bumhole, you must be just absolutely just dying for shit every 3 minutes. You've got the nervous poos, But that's it, isn't it? You're going to be caught at this stage. And who are you going to be caught by? Are you likely to be tased, stopped? You're not going to be shot in this country.
No.
In the States, you'd have been shot 15 times.
Put down, yeah.
The minute they'd have seen him, they'd be like, stop right there. And they'd have been like, bang, bang,
They'd have been
bang.
like, no, stop.
So, yeah, body cam. I've told him to stop. Just fucking... But that's it, So the manhunt's over. Everyone can not panic.
Very interesting, though, that this happened in the first place.
But you've got a fantastic question, and it's just going to happen more often there.
I wonder.
Start noticing.
I do wonder if people in prison are going to start getting false confidence, whatever you want to call it, that they can do it too.
Yeah, this is it.
They could cause riots in prisons.
Don't try it if you live out in Dartmouth. What the fuck is that?
Oh, I've got a little flying friend coming. Bloody hell, he's huge, isn't he?
Daddy Longlegs, isn't it?
Anyway, we're about to get mauled by Daddy Longlegs.
That's it. Where is he?
Might have to edit out the slaughter of Daddy Longlegs out the episode.
Guts. There we go.
But yes.
Yes, that's right. A lot of people might call him evil. A lot of people might call him a genius.
He's like the modern day Lex Luthor, isn't he?
You will call him a legend, and I would call him a god. That's right. We are talking about Elon Musk, I mean. That's from Rick and Morty.
It is, yeah.
Elon Tusk.
Elon
Tusk has said that he reckons that Donald Trump will win by a landslide.
Which is interesting, because that's how he won last time.
Do you reckon they're putting bets on it?
I don't know. That'd be interesting, isn't it?
It's going to be very interesting to see this.
Do we even know if he's allowed to run again yet?
I think he can run in prison, yeah.
Oh, he can run
Yeah,
again,
no, I don't think people are going to go crap if he doesn't.
No.
And obviously during the week we've got a bit of a news debate on Elon Musk at the minute. People saying that he is pure evil because he will not activate Starlink for the Ukrainians. What's his comment on it though? Trying to prevent World War III.
What is his real reasoning behind not activating it? I know he's kind of saying he's trying to do a good thing, but in what way is he trying to do a good thing?
Well, obviously we've got the problem of the shipping issue in the Black Sea at the minute. That was south of the Donbass region. Russia have basically stopped any peace travelling of any grain or wheat coming out of that part of the ports and everything like that. Basically, if anything comes out, they would bomb it. So Ukraine want to do a drone offensive on the Russian ships.
Right.
It reminds me of Call of Duty Ghosts. It really does. Just drones everywhere. Like
drones for days.
Drones for days.
Drone warfare.
But they need Starlink to be able to conduct that operation.
Right, I see.
To have the communication for the drones and everything.
Right.
Elon Musk.
Elon Tusk has been like, no.
He has said no. He's basically said no. I'm not doing it.
Well, I guess that does kind of make sense.
Yeah, if he really is trying to prevent World War III. I mean, it's quite hard because a lot of Starlink is military and civilian use. So, and he is in charge of it. He does own it. He has the ability to say yes or no to what it does, where it's deployed, what it's used for, and what development it's used for in the world. And, I kind of agree with him on it. Is he potentially stopping? Because they basically, I think President Putin would say, he's American, you're assisting them.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
needs to
I
stop.
can see how that would cause issues if Putin's kind of like, well, Starlink's an American, American company.
Yeah.
Why are the Americans helping the Ukrainians? And then
Again,
you don't want him launching the nukes on America, you know?
this is it, and it's all because of one man. And it always is the will of one man.
Yes.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's what he says, doesn't he?
Yeah,
the
does.
will of a one man.
Yeah.
It is true. All it takes is one person to start something, and he could be the man.
I mean, people have been debating for years whether Elon Musk is, the savior, or if he's just Lex Luthor in disguise.
Lex Luthor in disguise. It was like you said earlier, wasn't it? It's theory. Like, what would you reckon he'd do in Mars? And it's true. I would think he would mine it, but colonize it.
I think his short-term purpose for Mars is to mine it, but I do also think his long-term plan is to colonize it, rule it, and make a better society.
I mean, he put out today on X that ban Bill Gates from Mars.
I mean, whether his better society is just going to be some, absolute like futuristic hellhole.
We're not even there yet.
He's
already got a ban list.
Yeah.
He's already got a ban. Yes, please ban Bill Gates, because Bill Gates has done nothing but fuck up Microsoft and the human anatomy.
The human anatomy?
Yeah, the human body. He's got everything. He just wants everyone to eat bugs. But he just recently hired out a restaurant and wasted thousands of pounds worth of food.
Of course he did.
But he wants everyone to eat bugs.
Classic. That is the...
So Elon Musk has put out a vote this afternoon, or this morning on X.
I guess that is the blind side of the rich, isn't it? It's like that, have you seen Oprah Winfrey and The Rock?
Yes.
That load of bullshit. Have you seen that Jason Momoa's called them out?
Yes.
Saying they're like absolute scum and stuff.
It's true. Why is it the poor? Why is it the poor and the mid class has to pay when you've got these millionaires?
And yet The Rock is like the most, like, I'm pretty sure he's the richest like Hollywood celebrity. And he's just there like, please donate. And he's literally got
they're putting thousands
millions,
into it.
billions. Yeah. Oprah's probably got more than him. Together,
well, she could sell one of her handbags.
Yeah,
they're worth millions.
I reckon one of our handbags costs more than my yearly salary.
I think it's probably more than this road worth in houses, mate.
But then
they're in the millions.
And then they're on camera going, "Please donate."
Yeah,
how about you fucking donate?
Never hear it from certain people that we like in this world. You don't need to donate,
But no, like I said, prop to Jason Momoa for calling them out though, because he's right.
100%.
They are scummy for doing that shit.
100%. Isn't he the guy that's now the most hated man in America? Is that who we're chatting about?
What?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa?
No, it's not, is it?
It's Aquaman.
That's Aquaman, yeah. It is Aquaman, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Aquaman.
Yeah, no.
Big old Aquaman.
Big old Aquaman. I like the fact that he has called them out.
Yeah, so do I.
And it was like the other day we learned that he was in Stargate, wasn't he?
He was in Stargate. He played Ronan Dex.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolute legend. I love him.
Yeah, so it is true. And then obviously we've got at the moment in the celebrity world, we've got Mark. I know what's his bloody name. Always talks like that, huh?
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
That's quite a good impression.
He
sounds like he's always out of breath.
It sounds like that. Hey, yeah,
Literally.
What's going on, kids? Eh?
That's quite a good impression. I'm quite impressed.
But like, what? He's calling out the paedophiles now in Hollywood, isn't he? And then it's seen he'll be like the most hated, dangerous man.
Absolutely cancelled.
It's true. It is.
Yeah.
You go up against these celebrities. It's true. You've got millions. Sorry, it's been a very long week, and it is 20 to 9, isn't it? Doing this
bedtime.
It's bedtime for me, mate. I'll be driving the van at 6 in the morning. That's probably not as early as a lot of blue collars out there. Yeah, but I've been out since 4:30 this morning. I had my first coffee and shit at 6. Proper blue collar.
We don't get blue collars watching this.
Oh God, I only wish. I'm a blue collar. Come on, show support road workers. Do some more for it. Fucking groundsmen, ground.
Do you reckon we got like electricians and gas workers on it?
I'd be nice to know if we have.
I reckon it's all white collars like me.
It'd be white liberals. I'm not calling you liberals. You're definitely not liberals if you're watching this, because this is kind of a centre right centre.
I reckon we're called right of centre.
Right of centre. Even though I'm really ultra right, but I do dull it down.
Tom's like all the way to the right. I'm like right of centre.
But I proper dull it down for you. Like,
yeah.
This, obviously, we'd get cancelled.
I want to get cancelled.
But I want Seb getting cancelled.
I want to get kicked off YouTube.
Woke platform.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. So yes, that's about those celebrities this week. I mean, I think that's all we've got to talk about. Those celebrities.
I think that's pretty much it.
Elon Musk is just fucking ruining people's lives at the minute.
Elon Musk is an interesting man.
He is, isn't he? I think more and more now that X platform's been taken over, he's becoming more and more awake.
Do you know what I
of
did think
his-
earlier about how stupid the rebranding of X was?
Yeah.
Because I walked past a car and it said Twitter and their handle on it, and I thought, can you imagine how many places the word Twitter is written across
It's
the world?
everywhere. Like when I share links from X to Snapchat, it will still say Twitter at the bottom.
That's what I mean. The Twitter
There's
must be
so
embedded
much.
so many places.
You know, like, and it's so weird saying love reading X, and people must think X.
You're watching porn, mate.
You watching, but that's it, like X videos.
They were like, oh, I love it on X. What, X videos? But they'd be like, oh, you've seen the one with the midget? It's like, no, not that.
The social media platform X. I mean, at the moment it is a free platform, isn't it? It's like a free speech
sort of.
platform to a degree. I mean, TikTok have now got onto the well comment. You can't post that. It says post.
Yes.
It says post anyway or cancel. I don't understand. Like well actually is an offensive, racist term. It's just.
Does that come up when you type that? Post that now?
Yeah, honestly,
Does it?
If you can't type it anywhere, it says.
I don't post that
you know,
myself.
No, that's it. To me, you know, like that. I tell you what, we'll get into it. Talk about the well. You can put this up separate segment because this is going to just. Everyone's getting it wrong. Well. It is literally just saying, wow, I'm surprised.
Well, lack of surprise, I guess.
Lack of surprise. Don't think into it too much. There's nothing about, like, you could say about anything. Like, you could say, like, a group of middle-aged white women protesting outside of a, what do you call it? What's the thing they've banned in the States?
Abortion clinic?
Abortion clinic. Well.
Yes. Or
And these are women that have probably had birth. You know,
yeah,
birth to
or a
child,
bunch
you
of
know.
middle-aged white ladies fighting for trans rights.
Well. So,
You know, stuff like that.
you can't
When it's
say
a little bit
it's
stereotypical,
stereotypical.
but at the same
That's
time,
exactly what it is.
that is exactly what's happening.
So don't think too much. People say, you know, it's a racist, bigotry, ultra right wing racist remark. It's nothing to do with race. You're probably going to see it more on certain videos, but
yeah.
take it with a pinch of salt if you're going to see it. I see it, and I do think sometimes wrong agenda to say that to.
Yeah.
You know, I will say it to like the Irish protesting and they're throwing Molotovs at police vans. It is like, well. It's like surprise again. Like there's uproar in Ireland.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not because I'm being horrible to a race. It's because I'm going, well, that's a surprise. That's happening again.
For example, like the ones I always come across are, you know, the middle-aged white lady telling people who drive electric cars to turn their engines off.
Well.
It's always the same type of woman.
Wow, what a surprise
you
it's
know,
her again.
all
Karen,
shocker.
you know, turn your electric car off. Do you know what? If you tell anyone to turn your car off, you're a fucking dick. Because one, you don't know the reason behind it.
Yeah.
You actually don't.
No, you don't. That's true.
I've got an elderly grandparent who requires oxygen, and when they're in a car, they can't be in too much of a hot environment, so they require the air conditioning on. So the engine's running to power the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're polluting the earth.
Or
I'm going to say this time and time again. Mind your own fucking business.
yeah, or like when I was younger, you were always told to turn your car off at train gates. I couldn't do that because my car might not turn back on.
That's exactly it. You can't turn it. You told that younger. I always thought it was a new thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, you leave the engine running.
Oh, I never turned it off.
Yeah,
Mainly because I was scared I wouldn't be able to move
diesel
again. But
Even when I had my Range Rover, the 4 litre thing.
you were just sat there revving up
Just
at the
leave
train
it running,
gates,
yeah, the black smoke.
foot to
popping
the
out,
floor.
But it's true. Like, mind your own fucking business. Like, it's just another thing that again, Karen,
Pretty
Karen
much.
of the world.
But I think that's pretty much all we got this week. Isn't
I
it?
think we're just going to end it at that. I mean, we were going to talk about there was the Uno Reverso card done on ESPN the other day, wasn't there?
There was,
But
yes.
I don't know who the team is.
No,
I
we
don't
need
know
to-
what game it was.
We'll have a little look into that a little bit more.
But yeah, if you do sit, I think that was very funny. So,
quite funny.
and then there's also there's a new sentencing bill that's being brought into place that you may go to prison if your property is not energy efficient.
I did see that, yes.
So yeah, your government, your Conservatives or your Labour, whatever, they are trying to pass that through the courts. Vote Reform UK.
I'm not on board with that.
Bit of propaganda put in there. And then obviously tomorrow is one of the most saddest days in United States history, apart from Pearl Harbor. It is, of course, it's 9/11.
It is 9/11.
So there will be a bit of remembrance today for that tomorrow. I do hope a lot of people will be participating in that. Yes, it's an American thing. It's an American remembrance thing. But I think that a lot of us British, a lot of us United Kingdom
I think a lot more do these days.
should remember it. You know, this is...
Yeah, of course.
It's an attack on our cousins, you know, at the end of the day. You know, and we are NATO, we have the United Nations now, and we should all be together.
Yeah, and you know, you can't just go bombing people when you don't like what's
That,
going
that's, you can't go flying planes into nothing and all that, you know. So it's a bit like we did. I think we did do a bit on the July bombings as well, the London buses and everything like that. So, you know, so I think it's a bit of a major thing, you know. So just have a remember of that, and just remember where you were when it happened. You know, it's a major part of our history, you know, and it's in everything. It's embedded in films. Men in Black,
it is,
he sits outside of them. You know, Will Smith, he sits outside of it. You know, and then in the next The Men in Blacks, it's not there. It was in Bad Boys.
Was it Bad Boys?
Yeah, you know, when they're driving, you know, there's loads of it. So it's documented across history, isn't it? In every film that you can think of, early 2000s. So, you know, just remember that. Remember what film you remember watching and seeing them in, and now look that they're not there. So yeah, have a moment of that tomorrow. I definitely will be. You know, just a little bit of a think, like back to when I was a child. I remember seeing on Sky News. You know, it's a part of our history.
It is.
And it's something that we should all remember about. And that was innocent people that did die. You know, there wasn't people to blame. It was a World Trade Center.
It's not like they flew it into an army base.
No, that's it, exactly. You know, or a church, or you know, something like that.
Yeah, it was normal people trying to work. So
yeah, just going to work. Wolf of Wall Street.
Literally.
Just literally like Wolf of Wall Street, and it only held numbers and digits in there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they weren't doing anything crazy.
We've all seen Batman when Bane's in the. You know, we don't have money here. Oh, what you do? You know, like, so leave that on a good note. You know, thanks for watching again.
Yeah.
Hope to see you next week. And Seb's going to get them all.
I will be. We'll be up.
We've had a very busy couple of weeks.
We're back on the TikTok this week.
We're back on the TikTok. We've got loads. Oh, and we've also got a UFO special as well.
We've got a UFO special coming out soon.
You know, so if all you alien freaks nuts out there, you know, if you're into all that,
look forward to that.
About the UFOs that are happening in Britain and what needs to be done about them. So so drop a link. Or here, so whatever.
Or there, or just there.
Just click on that, have a watch of that, tell us what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow us on TikTok, we're on everything.
And share this bad boy everywhere.
We're just not on Instagram or X.
No, probably won't ever be.
No, believe it at that. We're on Spotify though. So if you're travelling up down the UK or wherever in America,
you hear us chatting shit whilst driving along. What more could you want?
That's it. And what is it you want? 5 stars?
5 stars would be lovely. I mean, 4's okay, but 5 would be great. So 5 stars on Spotify, please, and a thumbs up on YouTube. And we want to do a Q&A at one point as well. We would like to do that, So just Q&A, question answers. We'll give you everything you need to know about us or whatever, talk about whatever. Yeah, sounds good. And our views on it. Ciao.